You remember that little pink trophy that just says "You tried," right? And somehow it feels heavier than every real award ever invented? It shows up quietly in Season 8's Homer's Phobia, and suddenly The Simpsons stops joking about failure and starts documenting it with uncomfortable honesty. Here's the thesis, and it's a little depressing. You tried is Springfield admitting effort no longer guarantees dignity, success, or even basic emotional respect. It's not a joke about losing, it's a joke about living in a system where trying is the only thing you're still allowed to do. That tiny plastic cup is basically capitalism handing you a participation ribbon and calling it character development, which is funny until you feel personally attacked. You remember the scene, right? The awkward smile, the polite clap, the way everyone pretends this counts as something meaningful. That's the exact emotional energy of Homer at the power plant, asleep at his console, rewarded with a paycheck instead of a purpose. The show isn't mocking him for being lazy, it's mourning him for being trapped inside a loop that keeps running whether he's awake or not. Springfield is full of those loops. Moe's Bar, the Quickie Mart, the DMV, places where dreams go to quietly turn into routines. And the trophy fits right in, a physical object designed to lower expectations so nobody has to feel angry about being disappointed. That's the trick. Disappointment gets rebranded as maturity, and suddenly you're supposed to thank the world for not actively hurting you today. Here's where it gets unsettling. The show made this joke in the 90s, before burnout became a personality trait and a social badge. Back then it felt absurd. Now it feels like a human resources policy with better writers and a slightly cuter font. Think about how often you hear, "at least you tried," and notice how rarely it's followed by anything that actually changes your situation. It's comfort language designed to end conversations, not to solve problems, and The Simpsons knew that before most of us felt it. That's why the trophy isn't gold or silver or even bronze. It's pink, pastel, gentle, visually designed not to demand anything. It's the color of emotional padding, a way to soften the impact of a system that doesn't really plan on catching you. Lisa understands this instinctively, which is why she's always staring out windows, holding moral clarity in a town allergic to self-reflection. She knows effort should lead somewhere, that trying is supposed to be a bridge, not the final destination with a novelty cup. And that tension between trying and actually mattering is what makes that stupid little trophy feel more honest than any real award ever could.
That same tension shows up when Homer wins Employee of the Month, then loses it, then forgets it because none of it ever fixes how empty he feels. Or when Bart gets a perfect test score by accident and everyone celebrates the result while completely missing the chaos that actually produced it. Springfield loves outcomes, not processes, which is why trying is praised only when it politely fails and doesn't threaten the existing order. If you succeed too loudly, you're a problem. And if you fail too honestly, you're a burden, so the safest place is permanent almost. You tried is the language of permanent almost, the emotional cul-de-sac where ambition goes to park and quietly turn off its engine. That's why this joke aged too well, because adulthood turned out to be mostly about managing expectations instead of chasing possibilities. We don't tell kids they can be anything anymore, we tell them to be realistic, which is just fear wearing the costume of wisdom. And The Simpsons saw that coming, not because they were prophets, but because they watched adults closely and noticed how tired everyone already was. They noticed how people smiled at small mercies while slowly giving up on big hopes, and they turned that into a pink plastic artifact. The trophy isn't cruel, it's polite, and that's what makes it dangerous, because politeness is how disappointment sneaks past your defenses. You laugh, you nod, you accept it, and one day you realize you never asked for more because you were trained to feel rude doing that. Think about your own life for a second. The jobs, the relationships, the plans that ended with encouragement instead of actual change. How many times did someone tell you you tried when what you really needed was help, honesty, or a system that wasn't quietly broken? That's why this stupid joke hurts, because it understands the emotional economy we live in better than most serious adult conversations ever do. It understands that being seen trying is now safer than actually risking transformation, because transformation threatens things that are already profitable. So the trophy sits there, smiling, congratulating you for staying inside the lines, for failing gently, for not shaking the snow globe too hard. And maybe that's why we keep watching, because somewhere in Springfield's mask we recognize our own compromises, just drawn slightly louder in yellow. The show isn't laughing at us, it's sitting next to us at the bar, quietly pointing at the joke and asking if we see it too. So yeah, tell me, which Simpsons moment felt a little too real? The one that stopped being funny and started feeling like a mirror? Drop it in the comments, and if you want more late night cartoon philosophy, you know where the subscribe button lives now.